last lecture we discussed the constitutional 74th amendment and its provision, and we discussed its significance, how it mandated the local governance structure in India. It was also said that with the local governance structure in the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, it is also necessary by the respective state government to form their municipal act, so that every urban local government can function within the overall domain of the state government. So, today we will see that how a state government and the state level municipal acts are formed in their legislative assemblies, and what are those provisions in the legislative acts, and what are the type of act, and what are the components of those acts, and how these acts are functioning at the local level. So, let us start. So, basically we will discuss on the background, the components of municipal laws, some of definitions, essential definitions, and structures of the function of the municipal laws, how they actually function at the local level, categories of urban local bodies, rules and regulations. So, background, I have told that following the 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, urban local government is basically to be elected government and represented by all category of the people, and because of this it is getting a local government status. That means it is elected by the common citizen, common people of the country, that is why it is a government. And not only that, it can frame their own local regulations, and not only that, it will function as the planning authority plus 17 other function, total 18 function. It is mandated, and it is mentioned that DPC and MPC will be a very important organization in doing the planning of the overall larger areas in a geographical context. Now as per the Constitutional Amendment Act, it is also important to transfer all this provision to the state level act. So, we will see that how it is transferred. In a typical municipal setup of a state government, there are various kinds of municipal acts and legislation. So, let us see one by one. The first level of the municipal act will be the Municipal Corporation Act. In 74th amendment, it is told that 3 lakh plus population cities will have the municipal corporation, but it is up to the state government who can also form the municipal corporation even lower than 3 lakh population. So, for that, time to time they will form municipal corporation acts. For example, the municipal corporation of Delhi, municipal corporation of the Mumbai, municipal corporation Chennai and other cities, they have the separate municipal corporation act. For the other municipalities other than the corporation, the municipal council and Nagar Panchayat. You know that there are 3 categories of the urban local bodies. One is municipal corporation, second is municipal council and Nagar Panchayat. So, for these 2 kind of urban local bodies, the municipal act is framed, which will govern all kinds of local bodies other than the municipal corporation. Is that fine? And for the planning of the overall metropolitan area, the Metropolitan Planning Committee Act, in short it is MPC Act, and District Planning Committee DPC Act will be also there. And as per the mandate of the constitutional amendment, the ward committee rules is also framed under Municipal Act. So, this is basically rules which will govern the day to day business and the function of the ward committees. And apart from the rules, there can be regulation and the bylaws which is be formed for various thematic subject of governance and development. For example, the municipal corporations and municipal bodies, they can frame their regulations of local taxes, regulations of the building and bylaws for the building and the other development. So, those kind of provisions are given all domain of municipal laws. Apart from that, there are Town and Country Planning Act of every state government. The Town and Country Planning Act provides the planning authority in some particular area, but those planning authorities are not local government as such, because they are not elected by the government, but the provision of the Municipal Act and the corporation, they are the elected government, because the board is formed through the elected representative of the people. So, let us take an example that how the what kind of acts and regulations are there. We have taken the example of West Bengal, because some of the acts formed very early time. The first act was the West Bengal Town and Country Planning Act, which came in 79 and amended later on. Then West Bengal Municipal Act 1992, and its amendment came in 2002. West Bengal District Planning Committee Act 1994, Ward Committee Rules 1994, Metropolitan Planning Committee Act 1994 and rules, and other 6 municipal corporation acts. Now, please observe that for municipal corporation, they have separate act and unique, which is unique. For example, Kolkata Municipal Corporation Act, it is a unique act which will be governing only the Kolkata Municipal Corporation. Similarly, at your state, please see that what are the municipal corporation acts are there, how many are there, for how many. There could be situations like government, some government can form one consolidated municipal corporation act to govern the set of or few set of municipal corporation, that is also possible. So, so it is better to have a visit to your concerned state government department's website and have a understanding of this. Now, let us see some basic definitions. The board is basically a decision making body consisting councillors basically who are elected, and in the board it will be represented by the SC/ST in terms of the percentage available in the municipalities, and women representation of at least 30%. So, this is how a highest decision making body, which is called board of councillor, will be formed in a municipality. So, this board of councillor, in short it is BOC, will take the maximum decision in the urban local bodies. There is another concept of the mayor in council, in short it is MIC. So, if this is board of councillor, there could be a small section of the board of councillor which is entrusted to give some dedicated responsibility in terms of standing committees. Those are called mayor in council or chairman in council, CIC. So, if it is a corporation, it will be termed as mayor in council. If it is a municipality, it will be called chairman in council. So, basically conceptually the mayor in council and board of or the mayor in council or the chairman in council, this will act as a local ministry. So, it is as good as the ministry at the state level or the central level conceptually. So, if the total number of the member of parliaments is more than 500 and only about 50, 60 or 100 are the minister. So, similarly, if the total number of board of councillors the member are say 30, so there could be like 5 or 6 member in a mayor in council or chairman in council. So, mayor in council and chairman in council, they take the decisions of the thematic areas like the roads or the public health or the social development, etc., through various standing committees. So, we will see that. So, now let us see that what are the functional structure of urban local bodies in a typical municipal act or municipal corporation act. You can see the first thing which a municipal act should mandatorily dictate or mandatorily mandate is the criteria. So, as we have discussed, mostly the criteria are population density and the non-agricultural sector population. So, most of the municipal act, they mandate like say 20,000 or 30,000 and population density of not less than 750 per square this will be kilometer per square kilometer of the area, and more than half of the total adult population will be engaged in non-agricultural pursuit. And it will also, a typical municipal act will also give some description of the board of council, how it is formed, what will be its function, etc. As you know that the number of councillors, elected councillor is equal to number of wards, it is very obvious. So, that it will dictate that what is the number of councillors as per the population. So, a board typically has the authority and the responsibility for executing all the decisions and the job of a municipality. So, they have a board of councillors, chairman in council and a chairman or mayor if it is a corporation. So, the board of councillor is the largest body and this is the head of that body, and chairman in council are the ministry which will guide the development, and board of councillor constituted through elected representative in general election or by election. Board of councillor will elect the chairman and all executive powers is vested on the chairman in council or mayor in council as case to case basis. Now, a typical chairman in council consists of the chairman, vice chairman, other members not exceeding, like if it is a group A, it is 5. Now, in some of the municipal act you will find that there is a division or the categories of group A, B, C or D and E, something like that. So, this division is done based on the population from large to small. So, if it is a large municipality like group A, apart from chairman and vice chairman there will be 5 members. So, that becomes total 7 members. For a municipality little smaller than group A, it will be total 6 member, and if it is a group C it will be 5 members. Similarly, for group D and E it will be 4 member. So, this number will form the size of the chairman in council or the mayor in council. There will be a leader of opposition as we see in the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha or the legislative assembly. Similarly, here also there will be a leader of opposition. There could be borough committee with population 1 lakh plus. So, the concept of borough committee is a larger committees larger than the ward committees. If the municipality is bigger, in most of the cases it is 1 lakh or more than that, then the borough committee can be formed. Otherwise, if it is a less than 1 lakh, the ward committees will be formed. So, conceptually borough committees and ward committees are similar, but the scale is different. Borough committees are supposed to take care the development of the larger geographical area, and ward committee is supposed to take care of the development of a smaller geographical area. That is the difference. There are various kinds of standing committees, as I told. Number 1 is a finance and resource, solid waste management, water supply in the public works like roads, health, education, urban poverty alleviation, public health and sanitation. So, these are the essential standing committees which is required to be formed at the urban local bodies level. There could be other standing committee as required time to time, and they can form this standing committee, but it is mandated that no councillor shall be the member of more than 2 standing committees. So, there could be a kind of a conditions, kind of a boundary conditions for becoming member of the standing committee in Municipal Act. So, please see and check your Municipal Act. Now, we will see how a Municipal Act look like. Okay. When you see a Municipal Act, definitely if you are going to work in the urban areas in a municipality or corporation, 2 fundamental documents you have to deal day to day basis, that is, one is the constitutional 74th amendment 1992 document, which we discussed earlier. We will provide some reference material to study, and second is the your Municipal Act or the Corporation Act. So, these 2 is very important mother document which you have to study in details to understand the provisions, mandate and the style of the working of the municipality. So, let us take an example of the West Bengal Municipal Act 1993. The first part of the Municipal Act will give the definition. If you have seen any act in our country, the first part will give the its scope, that is extent and the aim of the act and the definition. Then from the second part it will come one by one about this, about their scope. The part 2, it is the first thing is giving constitution of municipal areas. Under this they are giving all these necessary stages to constitute a municipal area, so that in urban local government they can they can constitute a local government through election and the post election activities, and they can form a vibrant board of councillor. Then the type of municipal authorities and their job. For example, the councillor, the municipality chairman in council, vice chairman, election, everything is written in this section. And next chapter is also giving the election of the councillor, how the election procedures will be taken up. In a word, like that process is mentioned. The municipality and the municipal establishment, what are the resource and the basic establishment of the municipality, that is provided in the next chapter. The power and function of various authorities, individuals are given. How the municipal fund will be utilized, that is detailed in detailed manner in the next chapter. Then the property management, there could be municipal property like land, building, the natural resource, how that will be managed by the municipality, that is provided. How the budget, accounts and audits are maintained, that is very important. Then how a municipal authority can make their own taxation and fees for the various services they provide, that is provided in various chapter. How the recovery of the fees will be there. Then some regulatory jurisdiction, that what are the scope of the municipality to take some regulatory steps in terms of the control and the enforcement of the development within that city area. The number one is the street and the public places, building, and the preservation and conservation of the heritage areas. Then next part is very important, that is water supply, how what are the procedures and the benchmarks of the water supply that is supposed to be given by the municipality. The drainage and the sewerage, solid waste, fire protection and fire safety, market and slaughterhouses, and urban and regional planning and development. You have seen that it is not only urban area, also the regional planning and its development is also mandated for the urban local bodies. So, not only that, the provision for the hill areas is also provided in the Municipal Act. Public safety and the nuisances, for example, what kind of actions could be taken for the public safety, for example, say for example, some kind of prevention of the mosquito breeding, what kind of actions will be taken. So, all these provisions are there. Then to avoid the infections and the public health, what kind of actions could be taken. Then vital statistics, that is the registration of the birth and the death in the municipalities, what are the steps, what are the procedure that is mentioned. Disposal of the dead, how the municipalities will facilitate the disposal of the dead in terms of the burial grounds and the crematorium, that is mandated. Then other authorities like notified areas, industrial township, within the Municipal Act there could be provision of the notified area for the smaller urban areas and the industrial townships, and the powers, procedures, penalties and savings for the municipalities. There could be specific rules and regulation for a particular purpose, how the power will be delegated for a particular job, cooperation and control. So, these are all facets of a municipal act which I showed just as an example. So, please see your municipal act, that whether all the provisions are mandated in the municipal act or not, whether all the provisions in the constitution are transferred in the municipal act or not. For example, these are the constitutional provisions which we discussed last day. Now, in this case we find that the urban forestry is such work, it is not fully delegated to the urban local body. So, it is the job of a state government. At the same time, the fire service is a joint work, it is also urban local bodies and state government. Remaining all the areas or all the jobs which is mandated by the constitution is fully delegated to the municipalities. So, we can say that the provisions of the constitution are mandatorily to be delegated to the urban local bodies through the set of municipal acts. So, that will enable the urban local bodies to function properly. So, having said that, let us summarize our discussion quickly. So, today we discussed the provisions in the municipal acts. Firstly, we told that there could be several sets of law in the municipal act. The first set of law could be Municipal Corporation Act. The Municipal Corporation Act basically defines the role, responsibility, functions of the municipal corporation, which is basically governs the larger cities, usually it is 3 lakh and more. Second is the Municipal Act. Apart from the municipal corporation, the Municipal Act governs the other municipal councils and the notified area committee or the Nagar Panchayats. Then it comes the ward committee rules. Ward committee rules is formed under the Municipal Act, but it will govern the functions, roles, responsibility and the day to day business of the ward committee. In some lectures later, we will have a detailed discussion on the ward committee as well. And apart from this basic rule, there could be the District Planning Committee Act and the Metropolitan Planning Committee Act, and also every state government has the Town and Country Planning Act, which provides the planning mandate for a particular geographical area to some authority. But please take a note that the authority mandated under the Town and Country Planning, they are not a urban local government, whereas the authorities mandated under the Municipal Act, they are a complete local government as per the law. So, these are the set of acts which will govern the functioning of the urban local bodies. Then we have seen that what are the basic components of a of a municipal act. A municipal act mandatorily gives the provision of the board, its composition, its roles, responsibility, power, how it will function. Second, it must give the idea and the direction how the standing committees will be formed, and it will give very specific ideas that for every sector of the development as mandated in the constitutional amendment, how the works and the jobs will be undertaken. So, this is very important to see, and I have mentioned earlier that for a urban professionals who are going to work in the municipalities or any urban areas, the constitutional 74th Amendment Act and the respective municipal act is these two are the mother act, very important act you should study thoroughly, and if possible one copy of the bare act you should purchase and keep with you. And having said that, we end up this lecture, and the next lecture will discuss about the interfaces for the urban governance. After the constitutional and the legislative provisions, when a municipalities are formed, they are supposed to function with integration with the vertical and the horizontal level of organizations. So, in the next lecture we will see that how the relation and the integration with the all kinds of organizations take place, and what are the major challenges and the concern on these interfaces. So, with that I conclude this lecture. Thank you very much for attending this lecture.